Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your Rune Elemental reading for the week of October 5th through the 11th. If you are interested as to why I read for the elements versus the zodiac, there is a video linked in the description. You can check that out. And if you've never had your charts read, there is a link down below as well for a natal interpretation chart. It's not sponsored or anything fun like that. It's just a really interesting tool to give you a little more insight into who you are at your core. It shows you the base 12 houses, and then it gives you 10 to 20 pages of a description of what all that means. And there's also a section in there on your elemental alignment, which is actually a lot of fun to go through. So with that, we will get started with our Fire family. Fire covers the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And Fire, we are starting you off with the Iowaz rune, which is the rune of the horse. And the color association is white. Tarot is the lovers. Astrology is Gemini. So you've got some interesting energy coming up here, Fire. Travel and change, new jobs, new home, spiritual journeys, or movements. So there's this call for Fire to be open to a change, be open to a shifting energy. This is not a time of stagnation. You're not doing this alone though, because you've got the Gemini and the Lover. So there's something going on with a partnership or a coupleship that is coming in here. And with white, there's a whole lot of innocence as well. So things are shifting, and they're shifting in a very positive way for you, but it's not. I'm getting this feeling that this was not what you expected this week to play out as. You expected things to go a certain way, and this is kind of like a pleasant shift in the plans ahead. So you definitely have some fun energy starting off your week. Your second rune is Iowaz, which is Tyr, the god of war's rune. Color is bright red, tarot association is justice, and astrology is Libra. So you've got two different aspects of air going on, Gemini and Libra. So air could be your partner in this week as well. Courage and energy, the power to weave the patterns of your own life. This is part of that movement that you've got going on. There's something shifting. It's something that you have that's unexpected. Like, this is happening faster than what your original plan was. You originally had this, let's say it was a 5-year plan, and something this week is shifting that 5 into 3 or to 2. There is definitely a lot of positive growth, positive momentum, and I'm getting this impression right now for Fire that it's because of this partnership, the Lovers, the Gemini energy, that duality. It's because of that things are moving faster, and that's where you're a little bit on the surprise side by how things shift this week. It's saying it's going to be a very good week. It's just saying that your timeline is definitely not what you originally thought, and this is a pleasant surprise. And this energy that comes in with the horse as well, I'm getting this energy of loyalty, companionship, being supported when you don't think you deserve it. Let's put it that way. So this is a very good shift. So whoever's coming in, and I'm getting the impression it's probably an air sign of some form, but whatever's coming in that aspect is definitely going to help Fire really conquer some stuff this week, and it's going to make some positive changes for our Fire family. Let's hop over to our Earth family. Earth covers the zodiac of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And Earth, you get to start with one of the fun runes, which is the Gibo rune, which is blessings and generosity. Tarot color is deep blue, tarot association is the Lovers, and astrology is Pisces. So you have this duality going on as well, but you're tying yours much more strongly to water. It's a sign of gifts, generosity, giving, people coming together, relationships becoming deeper. Water. Earth, this is definitely tap into your Taurus aspect. If you've got Taurus in your chart, this is the time to really tap into that energy, because it's bringing you into the hearth and the home is what I'm getting here. With the Lovers, it could be a relationship taking the next step, proposal, it could be the baby on the way, it could be something along those lines, or it could be the fact that you have agreed to move in with your partner, they're moving in with you. There's some shifting happening in that respect, but this is definitely Taurus aspects coming in. Even though Pisces is the duality for you, you also have the Lovers. So I feel this really heavily that it's going to be a grounding experience. It's definitely going to be the hearth and the home aspect of Earth. It's going to be stability and new foundations. So you're in a really good spot. It's they're saying that this is going to be one of those weeks where a lot of good things happen, but you're going to be kind of tired by the end of it. So your second rune is the Kano rune, or the torch rune, or aspect of fire. Color is light red. Tarot association is the Chariot. Astrology is Venus. Creative fire, awakening artistic impulses, passion, and sexual desire. So that's where that rest of that comes in at Earth. You definitely are going to have a busy week is what I'm getting here, but it's a week of things that you enjoy. It's a week of things that are in line with your soul's mission. And this right here, when we tie Venus to Pisces, to the Lovers, you have a lot of things coming in relationships. You have a lot of energy coming forward in this passion aspect of life, but you also have the Chariot and fire. So there's something coming in that's also going to be speeding up a process for you. This is not a week of quietness. This is a week of allowing change to occur. You've already set everything up. You've kind of got you've got all the tools in place. You've got all the supplies there. Now it's time to allow the universe to push things into motion. And it could be because the speed aspect could be because the full moon that's coming up on the 6th could be triggering a lot of that motion in a spiritual sense, which could manifest very easily into the physical, because that's how it usually works, spirit into the matter. So you've got a good vibe going on here, Earth. Let's take a peek at Air family. You are covering Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and your first rune is the Rado rune, which is a long journey on horseback. And that's interesting because fire and air, now you've got air tying into that horse, which was from the fire section. Colors bright red. Tarot association is the Hierophant. Astrology is Sagittarius. Okay, air, fire, whatever's going on here, if you've got air and fire dominant, pay attention. If you are in a relationship with the opposite of, if you're fire and your partner's air, your partner's fire, this is you guys this week. We have physical journeys, especially pleasant ones, journeys that bring positive development, and it's also a spiritual journey of the self, which ties very strongly into Fire's reading with the Iawaz rune, because that's the journey of the horse and journeys and travel. So again, we're working with this energy of things are happening quicker than expected. There's motion coming forward here, and the long journey on horseback, this is... So Fire's going to be the one who is the supporting factor in this. They're going to be the companion, is what I'm getting, whereas Air's kind of the leader in the situation, not the dominant, so to speak, but the one who's kind of saying, hey, weren't we going to do this? And Fire's like, oh, heck yeah, let's do this. And then you guys move forward in a rush. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, is the Rado, the air energy. You're the one that's kind of along for the ride, but Fire's the one that's driving the horse. So that's where the horse aspect comes in. But it's definitely, you both are in a supportive and mutually beneficial growth pattern here. Let's see, your second rune, Air, is the Fehu rune, which is your Elder Futhark. Color is light red. Tarot association is the Tower, and astrology is Aries. This makes me kind of chuckle. Good luck, success, fertility, and harmony. You have a lot of just positive stuff moving for you this week, Air. It's saying there's a lot of movement. You're tying in with Fire, which drives passion, and that can be triggering that fertility aspect, whether it's physical fertility or creative fertility. And because Fire and Air work really well in harmony with each other, that's where we're getting in this balance type stuff. Tower is saying there could be a little bit of creative destruction going on, but what's being taken apart was actually the original plan that didn't make any sense now. It did when it was originally laid out, but because of the connection that Air and Fire have built, that plan basically has been shortened massively. Steps have been taken out because one or the other has done other aspects of it, so you're able to like shorten that time frame significantly is what I'm hearing. So this week you're really going to notice that. You may not know the full force or the full outcome of what's happening, but this is the week where you are definitely going to feel that shift occurring, and it's because of the connection that you two have. So the fire air couples out there, you guys are literally on fire. So enjoy this week as much as you can, because there's definitely some fun coming in for you. Let's take a peek at our water family, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, all of our fishies out there. We are starting you off with Uraz, which is the color of dark green. Tarot association is the High Priestess, and astrology is Taurus. This is tying into that earth energy, but earth was tying into Pisces. So water, earth, here we go. Creative power, wisdom, and knowledge, good fortune, opportunity, and water, you're getting the same sexual energy boost. So your creation is the difference with you. There's this water, they're showing me that you're weaving a web of what you wish your life to be. You're bringing in like a touch of the perfect home life, and so you're tying that off, and then you're bringing in the perfect job, and you're tying that off, and you're bringing in that person, and you're tying that in, and you're building this beautiful web. And it's saying that this is how you draw in the things that you create. You really start to put the pieces together, but for you it's not a puzzle, it's more of a loom. You're literally adding the string, connecting it, adding the next one, or you're building a dream catcher, however it works for you. But this is how you're developing your vision. It's not so cut and dried as put slot A into slot B. It's more of, I like that concept, so I'm going to bring it in, and I like this idea, and I'm going to bring that in. And that's triggering this High Priestess, where you literally are working with the goddess energy, which is more of the homemaker, divine feminine aspect. So it's creation through a little bit more passive. That doesn't mean weak. Don't ever think that. The goddess is definitely not weak, but it's not as projective. So you're building things in a more subtle way, and that's actually works out really well for water, because you're receptive. You fit the mold of whatever you're poured into, but you don't have to stay there. And that's the thing, is you're creating this new aspect. So our second rune, that's interesting. Water has the same second rune as the other one. We have Fehu again. Color is light red. Tarot association is the Tower. Astrology is Aries. We're looking at the good luck, success, fertility, and harmony. Water, you are in a position to change your life right now. This is not a time where you just have to make a couple of affirmations and think it's going to fix. This is saying change how you view the world this week, because you are tapped into this full moon energy that's coming in on the 6th. You're tapped into this powerful shift of awareness and of the world to bring in this positive change in your section of reality. And so the good luck, the success, the fertility, and the harmony are saying, what is it you want to do? Get into the flow of life and go with that. You have the energy of weaving this web, and they just keep bringing it back to a spider web because they're so beautiful when they're all covered in frost. But they keep coming back to that because this is how you work. You don't just put these slotted things. You don't build lists. That's more I'll leave that to the air world. You're the ones who kind of bring in watercolors and then throw some oil onto it, and heck, maybe even add some clay in there just for some interesting, because you're not picking from one world. Water, the energy that's coming forward where you are creating this week, you're doing it from all energies. You're pulling all elements in. So water, you definitely have the most work going on this week, but it's almost like you don't care because it's fun and you're enjoying the creation process. So definitely, I'm curious if any of you water people out there, what's going on this week? If you feel free to comment if you're comfortable with that, and let me know kind of what you're seeing, because the energy that's coming forward is just this, You're bringing everything in and you're rearranging it and shuffling it, and you're building something better. You're creating your own tower moment. Most times those happen accidentally, but you're causing it because you want different parts so you can build this better future. So overall this week, there's a lot of positive shifting going on. I think the full moon is going to help us tap into our more subtle intuitive abilities. You have fire and air who are really paired up this week, like big time. And you have water and earth who are at least casually flirting, if not in full-blown relationships as well. There's a lot of creation going on, and there's a lot of option for movement and expansion, whether that's physical movement or spiritual growth. Allow yourself to really tap into the core of who you are this week. It doesn't matter earth, air, fire, water. Tap into who you are, because what you are at your core is going to bloom in a way that you may not have expected, let's say on Sunday versus by Saturday. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys have going on. With that, I will let you guys go. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe, do all those fun things, and I will see you in the next video.